Here we go. Oh
Look at her
my
face.
God. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. How are
Oh
you,
my,
ma'am?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I am fine by the grace of Allah. Just
It's
fine.
good to hear. I'm actually super excited to interview you. I had I've always seen you posting on everything on TikTok, on Instagram. I'm like, I like her. I like her energy. So
Crazy
I'm
to
excited
Allah.
to get to know you today.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to answering some questions. Again, I don't really know. I don't know what we're gonna be talking about, but I'm just here to answer questions. So I'm excited
Okay.
and I'm happy to be here.
All right. Well, we can go ahead and start then. Do you mind introducing yourself for us real fast?
Yes, ma'am. So, my name is Anora. My Instagram and social media brand name is Lunar Nora. I am a full-time content creator, entrepreneur, and student of the most honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam. And yeah, that pretty much sums it all up. I'm just a young adult trying to figure it out, and I like to
Okay.
share that journey with others. So yeah.
So I heard you mention you're an entrepreneur. Do you mind telling us just a little about your business, what you do, what you're selling, your products?
Um, I've been an entrepreneur for about 2 years now, so I've pretty much just been figuring it out, trying to find my avenue. But at the moment, I can say that I have a TikTok slash Instagram Reels coaching business. So I help people come up with creative ideas for their content. I show them how to do TikToks and walk through Instagram Reels because that can be really complicated to someone who has absolutely no background knowledge and none of that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I do that. I have a course coming out. I do classes. I sometimes can do graphic designing. I'm kind of taking a break because I've been doing so much this year that I deserve this break to just figure out what I'm going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so graphic designing, um, book illustrations, um, art classes. I'm an art instructor, so I have some art students that I do classes with every Wednesday and Friday. So I
Okay.
just kind of dibble dabble with everything that I do. So I'm a very creative person. I'm an artist, so I kind of just figure out how to do things using those my skills pretty much.
All right. I remember I bought a T-shirt for you. I mean, from you. I'm sorry. For Father's Day, I believe. It said
Yes.
FY was red. It said something else. I don't remember what it said, but my father loved it.
I can't remember. It was like, yeah, I do t-shirts too. So
Yeah.
again, I'm kind of all over the place. I like
That's okay.
doing a lot of
You got
different
it
things
going
though.
on. You
Yeah, I
got it
like
going on.
crafts and I don't know, I just like being creative.
That's good
But yeah.
though. That's good. So, this is a question about creativity.
Mhm.
How do you feel that you're expressing yourself? Like, are you expressing yourself through posting all of these videos that you make, or by taking the pictures, or by making um your t-shirts? Like, is that expressing you, or are you expressing another point?
Um, it's a deep question. Oh my gosh. I think yes. I just try to share every time I'm making content. I always try to keep in mind that is this something that I'm personally went through that someone will be able to relate to possibly, or is this something that someone will learn from? So I think that because I'm being myself in everything that I do, it is me, you know, being showing my creativity and just being expressionable.
Mm-hmm.
Even with the art, I actually had to stop doing them for other people because I was losing that touch. I'm connected to everything that I do because, as creatives, you put your energy and your time and your spirit into whatever it is that you do. So I'm connected to my art. I'm connected to a lot of my videos. But even with the videos, I don't know why. I just don't comprehend the fact that when I put them out into the world of the internet, that people are actually watching them. Like, I think in a way it keeps me humble. But, when someone comes up to me and they're like, oh my goodness, you're amazing. I love all the things that you do. And I'm just like, oh, okay, wow. People really do be watching my stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just try to express myself in everything that I do, no matter what it is that I'm doing, because I'm the only me that I can be. So
True.
yeah, I hope that answered the question. I don't
No,
know.
that definitely answers. That definitely answers. And I can say I'm definitely a fan of yours. I love the content that you put out there
Oh, thank you
because
a lot.
not a lot of us in the Nation of Islam are making, the teachings or anything relatable. We're just putting it out there. But I love how you
Mm.
make it fun and interesting in your videos. And you're like, oh wow. I send your videos to a lot of people.
Praise
So
be
thank
to
you.
Allah, man. I just be creating stuff. I don't even know what I'm doing half the time.
Well, look,
People like it.
you're making it work. You're making it happen. So
Praise be to Allah.
I have a question about you and your journey in the Nation of Islam. So, were you born in the nation? Were you not? Did you just find your way to the nation and you joined? How did that happen?
My father got his ex the day of my mother's baby shower when she was pregnant with me. So I grew up with the nation. My father was in the Nation of Islam my entire life, but my mother was not. They were divorced. So I got the best of both worlds. I know what it's like to grow up in the world, being a part of worldly things, doing worldly stuff, the language and just everything. And then I knew a part of the Nation of Islam, as in I knew who the Honorable Miss Louis Farrakhan was, because my dad had the paintings all over the house. I went to Sunday lectures when we were younger. Savers Days always stick out of my brain because it was just so much fun. I always wanted to go to the Children's Village. But when I turned around, was I 16? 16 or 17, I was on social media, scrolling, and then who was it? I think it was Brother Ben. I came across one of his videos some way, somehow, and I was like, wow, I remember this stuff because, when I was a teenager, once I got to a certain age, my father no longer forced us to go to the mosque with him, and so that kind of just made us, me and my relatives, like free to do whatever. But Brother Ben, I saw him. He was teaching about the minister of the nation and stuff, and I'm like, oh wow, I remember this. And then I just binge watched his class. I mean, his Instagram account, and I was just like, oh man, this is so cool. I forgot all about this, and then something switched in my brain, and I just wanted to learn as much as I could. Really interested. Um, and then by the time I turned, this was like senior year, I was about to turn 18, graduate high school, figure out what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. And so I decided that I wanted to join the Nation of Islam instead of going to college because there was a lot that I did not get to learn growing up because I never got that MGT mother. And that's something I yearned for my entire life, I can say. And I knew that I'd get that if I joined the MGT class and the Nation of Islam and all of that. So yeah, I joined when I was 18, and my life this has been the greatest like 3 years of my life. So
Oh,
I could talk all day about my transition from being an 18-year-old to me being now. So yeah, I was 18.
but all praise is due to Allah. That's beautiful. Um, you mentioned the MGT mom. What is the MGT mother?
A mother that is in the classroom of the MGT class and stuff. I don't know. My mother wasn't really um she wasn't like a traditional mother, I should say. She didn't really know how to um cook, like home cooked meals. I mean, she could cook, of course, but my mother did not grow up without a mother. So she didn't know anything too much about motherhood. She didn't know anything about too much about raising children. She grew up with her father. So by default, me and my relatives, we didn't learn and we didn't receive certain type of, things that you get from your mother, like for example, or how to way of dress. My mother did not really wear dresses. She didn't wear purses. She didn't wear, you know, feminine stuff. So that's something I never got to see growing up. Um, I really, as more I'm older I get, the more I'm realizing that I really didn't get to learn a lot about self care as far as, hair maintenance, skin, and it's just a lot that I didn't get to learn because of my growing up, the circumstances of my youth and all of that, that I just always yearned for. And I thought that I'd get it if I had a mother who was a part of the Nation of Islam and NGT. I don't know. It was just something in my little young brain that I thought made sense. So yeah, that's what I mean by
I definitely understand where you're coming from, and
that.
that is something that a lot of our young women do grow up with. Like their parents may
Hmm.
have grown up in a single parent household, or they may have grown up on their own, and so they don't have these things to pass down to the children. So I completely understand
Yeah,
that. But
and I wanted to be the. I'm sorry to cut you off.
no, that's fine.
I
What were
really wanted to be the change. Like when I was 17, it all just like hit me. I don't know why I was 17-year-old thinking all of this, but Allah is the best planner. He knew what he was doing. But I sat down and I said, you know what? If I don't do anything about this, then this pattern is going to continue for my children and then so forth and so forth. And I just said, I got to do this for my children and my grandchildren. And so that's pretty much my driving force for everything that I do. My future littles and
oh,
great littles and all of that. So
that's beautiful. That's truly beautiful.
yeah.
So, through your post, you do post a lot of influencing things. Like you post a lot of positive things and really great messages. So, how do you believe that impacts your viewers?
Um, I don't know. My content is all over the place. Um, I I think I really try to share as much value as I can when I think that it's something like important to me.
Mm-hmm.
For example, lately I've been posting some videos about cooking from home because it's something that I need to work on. A lot of the stuff that I share is stuff that I need personally. So that I'm like, oh, if I need this, I'm sure someone out there need it too. And 9 times out of 10, people respond like, man, I need this. This is like divinely on time. This is perfect. So really, I really don't know. I just post. I get an idea to do something, and then usually when my ideas come, I'm like, I gotta act on this right now because this means that a lot probably want me to do it, and I just create it, and then I just put it out in the world, and then people get the feedback, give me feedback, and they just and it's just it's inexplainable, but I just share what I need and what I go through, and it impacts people and it helps them. So yeah, I think that answers the question.
Yes,
I
it
don't
does.
know.
Thank you. I like that mindset that you have. You post what you know that you need, and you know that if you need it, there's a lot of other people who also need it. I really
Yeah,
like that. How do you think if we all had that same mindset, how do you think that would take a or like play a part in changing the world?
I guess I don't know. This is a deep question.
I'm
Um,
sorry. I'm sorry.
hmm. If everyone thought about what they need and not what somebody else need, hmm. I don't even know. We probably wouldn't even be having this conversation right now. We'd probably be on our own in an island somewhere. Who knows? But because so many people care about, oh, you need to do this because you're not doing that. And I can admit that I used to be like that, especially when I first joined the Nation of Islam, because I had all this information. I'm like, you need to learn this. You need to stop eating that. And I learned that is ineffective.
Yeah.
Like, no. If we all just focused on ourselves and just look inside and understand what it is that we need and share that with the world, because I may be going through something mental now, and if I'm sharing what I'm going through now, there could be someone who's like 10 years old going through the same thing, but because I'm sharing my journey and what I'm going through and how I'm overcoming it is helping them. And because they're 10 years old, they can go and do who knows what by the time they're my age because of something that I shared that I'm going through right now with my life. If that makes sense.
No, it definitely makes sense.
Because I always like to think that Allah does not make us go through things for ourselves. And I'm starting to learn that a lot because I've been through so much in my early years to and I just thought that once upon a time that it was just something that I had to go through. because that's just life, and that's just, the way things are. But I'm starting to realize that, man, okay, so this happened because of that way. I experienced that because Allah wanted me to see this. And I really have to come to terms with my mother, the way that I was brought up. Allah wanted me to have that for a reason, so
Mm-hmm.
that, I know what I want my children to have. So it's just coming to understand, and just looking in the mirror, and stop thinking too much of yourselves, and just sharing. I don't know.
No,
If that
but you're
makes
right
sense.
though. Everything happens for a reason. Everything definitely happens for a reason. And if we hadn't gone through the things that we've gone through, then we wouldn't be the person that we are today. And if we weren't
Yes.
the people that we are today, we wouldn't be able to help others. Of course, we're
Mhm.
still growing, but it all happens for a reason.
Yes, ma'am. Everything. Literally everything. Even this conversation that we're having. Everything.
Definitely, us having this conversation,
Divine.
we don't know who might see this, and someone might get inspired and be like, "Oh, you know what? They're right."
Mhm.
Something like that.
That's my mindset I try to keep. Because I used to get anxiety when I'm speaking on camera or speaking to anybody. And I realized that that's me thinking too much of myself. And, the more I just don't think about it and let a lot flow through me, the better things turn out. So, yeah, that's the agenda. That's the goal.
Yeah, I used to be the same way. I used to never be able to do public speaking. Like I would get up there and I would
Hmm.
start shaking. I would never just post videos of me talking. Like even in person, I just wasn't able to have conversations with people.
Yep,
And
me
now
too.
look at you,
It's crazy, and
all
I'm
over
I'm
the
I'm a
internet.
huge advocate for it. Huge. I love seeing people who start like quiet, because that's how I was when I first joined the Nation of Islam. And man, the sisterhood, my student captain, then made me a whole different person. But I was quiet, and then I forced myself to start, you know, talking and doing things I haven't done before. I started forcing myself to do the things that were making me anxious, and the more you do it, the more it goes away. So, yeah, I'm a huge advocate for that, because life is just, life is so much better on the other side of anxiety. It really is.
It is.
Man,
It is. And I pray that we can all get past anxiety.
yes, ma'am.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I do have a question for you. You kind of already
Yeah.
answered this, but I just want you to, put it all together this time. Um, what inspires you or motivates you to post what you post, to keep going and continue to put out these positive messages?
Um, I mean, this changes so frequently, but I always like to go back to what I had on my drawing board before I even started all of this, and that was to inspire young women and girls to just be themselves, and kind of like a sort of like a documentation process for my children and like grandchildren, so they can be like, oh
Mm-hmm.
wow, my grandmother thought it that way, and here she is now, um that it I sometimes lose touch of that, because the internet has information every day, because they're doing it, and it's popular, it's getting people to watch, or that thing is popular right now, so I want to do that. So I kind of lose touch of my goals sometimes, but
Mm-hmm.
I really try to remind myself why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I just know that the more, and I've been doing this for so long, and it's become like a daily thing now, to the point where I'm seeing the benefits of what I'm seeing the fruits of my labor. And I think that's probably that's what keeps me doing, the fact that I'm getting more results, and people are starting to really, reach out to me and telling me how much what
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing is, impacting them. So that's what keeps me going, and that's my motivating force to people.
That's
Just like me.
beautiful. And you're doing a
Yeah.
wonderful job at it too. So may Allah
Thanks,
continue
thanks a
to bless
lot,
you.
man.
And I do have another question. As just a regular person, even as yourself, how does it make you feel when you see other people posting these positive things? on their feed?
Oh my goodness, I love it. I love it so much because, especially when it's people who don't really post anything or like are like quiet and they like doing something they never did before. I don't know what it is, but seeing people jump out of their comfort zones excites me. It literally, it just energizes me. Like I love seeing people getting out of their shells and just being the person that God made them to be, because I was the same way. Um like I said, I was quiet. I still am to an extent, but quiet, reserved. I'm avoiding confrontation. I'm avoiding communication if I can. But like that was doing nothing for me. I was staying in the same, nowhere position, just sitting, going nowhere. And it wasn't until I made that decision to go do things that I'd never done before and force myself to not be afraid and succumb to that feeling in your stomach when you should be saying something, but you don't want to because the fear is, it's just in
Mm-hmm.
there. So I just love it. I love when people share positive stuff because for the most part, I'm a positive person, and it's just refreshing to see on the feed. With everything going
Yep.
on in the world, it's nice to see positive people and positive things. So I actually try to keep my feed as positive as possible. So yeah.
Well, thank you. Yes, you're right. It is wonderful to just go on any type of social media and just see a whole thing of positivity. Everybody's promoting
Mm-hmm.
all this positive stuff. And you're like, oh, this is beautiful. I feel
Progress.
appreciated. So someone in the comments said, Mimi
There's a
underscore
question.
1975 iTown. I have a little cousin. She says she feels as if she's in a box when she goes outside her home. She lost her mother to lupus 5 years ago. She was 17 when her mom passed. Can you give me some tips to help? Okay.
Mm.
So, I do have a couple of friends that have lost their mothers at a young age. They're around my age. I'm 18 now. Um, but
You're like 18? What? I'm sorry. You just look so much older.
I know I get that a lot. But yes, I'm 18 now, and it's really a journey that they have to go through by themselves because you don't know what type of relationship they had with their mother. You don't know how close
Mhm.
they were with their mother, or you don't know really like their thoughts about their mother. So you have to give them time, of course, and just be there as a family member, as a friend, as support for them when they need you. That's really what I can say because it's really different for everybody's circumstance. But peace, everybody. Thank you for joining. Do you have any thoughts, Sister Nora?
Yeah. Um, like as you said, we all grieve and we all go through our situations the way that we do. But I haven't I don't know anyone that lost their mother that was kind of young, but my relationship with my mother was kind of on and off. So it was kind of like we had moments where we just wouldn't speak, and it's just something the individual has to go through for themselves. Like outside forces can do as much as they can, but until
Mm-hmm.
that individual is ready to, acknowledge that this happened and I'm ready to process this and I'm ready to, put this where it needs to go so that I can move on with my life. But it's different for everyone. Again, you can try to do as much as you can and recommend they go watch someone that is probably going to be uplifting or inspirational. Maybe a preacher or a pastor, but yeah, as you said, time and just letting them process what it is that they're processing on their own time.
Absolutely. Just surrounding them with positivity. And, that can definitely be very traumatic. And that's something that,
Mm-hmm.
stays in there in your head for a long time. That's your mother.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe some therapy, getting audited, being able to talk these things out, that can also help. But yeah, it's just always being there as a support. And if anybody in the comments has any questions, you could just feel free to ask. But
Please ask questions. I love asking questions. So much
Um,
fun.
do you mind telling our viewers real fast about your marketing class for TikTok and Instagram and how they can join it if they want to?
Okay, so I don't have a class yet,
Okay.
but I did have a class. I hosted a class last month. It was a 2 week class. TikTok, it was an introduction to TikTok, and then the next one was the content creating slash Instagram Reels. Now, in these classes, I introduce to those who do not know anything about TikTok. I explain how to do it. I explain why it's very important when you are trying to grow a brand, business, whatever it is you're trying to do with social media to incorporate Reels, TikToks, and all that type of stuff. Because 15 to picture, because everyone's attention spans are extremely short, and you got to get that message across as soon as you can. But yeah, I teach people how to do that. I have that replay link available in my bio, and I have a master class coming out. It's actually titled The Creative Mind, because a lot of people think that it takes strategy to make videos like that, like what I do, but it's not really that. I say that it's 75% mindset, because if you overthinking it and you just feel as if no one's gonna watch your stuff no matter what you produce, you're never gonna create anything. So I'm teaching people how to get into their creative mind and let go of all those emotions, all of those unnecessary feelings, so that they can open it up and just create whatever they want to create, and just start the journey to becoming a more confident and open individual. So that's coming out soon. That's actually going to be free. So anyone interested in
Oh,
that, just stay tuned. Follow me on Instagram at Luna Nora. I will let everybody know, and I'm sure someone, if you are interested, of course, DM me. But yes, that will be coming out soon, and then the course will be coming out soon. I physically teach people how to do like edits and clips and all of that. So yeah, that's the TikTok stuff.
okay.
Yeah.
So I personally, I figured out Instagram on my own some years back, and I had TikTok back when it was Musically, but I didn't really know how to use it,
Musically.
and I still don't know. I still don't know how to use it.
Okay,
Um,
so wait. Crazy thing is, I joined it last year, and I didn't understand it all. I'm like, what is this? This is stupid. Spent a couple months off. No, I spent probably a year off. No, it was a couple months. I was just on there to post stuff last summer, and I didn't start taking it serious this past March. I'm like, bros, can you hear me?
I can hear
Can
you
you hear
now.
me now?
Hmm.
Okay, yeah, it froze for a little bit. But yeah, I just started doing it at the beginning of this year. And what I mainly wanted to do was just get comfortable creating stuff, because I was still a little uncomfortable and just expressing my creative weirdo side. So, but after all these months, I'm
Hmm.
kind of at a point where I just create to create. But the more you're on there, the more you learn. Like really, I spend so much time on there, which is like the problem. But it's like my job now, so it's not really a problem with it. But just playing around with it. That's all I do. I mean, I play. I literally just play. That's how I learn. Just like children, you just gotta explore. It's really
That's
fun
true.
though. Once you get to do it, it's really fun. Interior design. I want to use this technology. First, you should start what platforms at. Ooh, interior design. That's fun.
Okay,
Well, I'm
that
kind of like
is.
an artist, but oh wait, no, you're the interior designer, aren't you?
I'm an architect, but I'm gonna get into interior design. So,
See, they're kind of similar, kind of similar. But to answer this question, I recommend, if you have one, an iPad, um, and purchasing an app called Procreate. Now, I'm not a digital artist. Wait, I guess I am. I'm a digital artist. I just purchased that app in 2018, and I said I want to learn how to art. I want to learn how to do cartoon portraits. And I sat down and I taught myself how to do it, because I wanted to do that. I wanted to, you know, make it happen on my little cheap old iPad, and this like $30 pen that I got from the internet, and I made it happen. She has a Mac laptop. I think there's even programs on the Mac, but Procreate it's only $10. You're able to draw. You're able to I get that right here.
Okay.
Forgot, but it's
And
pretty
then
much
for
like a
art,
free space.
I use Adobe. I use all of the Adobe things like Illustrator, Photoshop. I don't like them, but they're very useful.
For your edits or like for content
For everything. You can do everything on there. You can draw on there. I'm not the best
on the computer.
drawer. Hmm.
Yes, Adobe for the computer. Then I forgot that there's computer programs because I'm so used to like learning technologies. But if you're interested in getting an what's this called? An iPad. This is the app. It's called Procreate. You can like draw. You can create straight lines.
Oh,
There's a lot. You can do a lot. And this is where I learned how to do digital portraits. I did not go to no formal school because I just had the will to learn how to do something, and then I just made it happen. And I practiced, and I'm still not like a professional, but I
but
just
that's
do it.
what you do. You have to start somewhere. Definitely start
Yes.
somewhere. So,
Also,
I'm sorry, were you saying something?
I want to add one more note or tip
Okay.
for the brother with the daughter. Especially since she's so young, please do as much as you can to help her. Um, I wasn't really, well, I've always been into art, but if I was, doing what I'm doing now at 12, exploring my creative abilities, I wish that I had the parental, support and just being like, just having them do whatever they can that they can help as far as finances, supplies, all of that. Please invest in her because she might be into interior design and now and she might learn something else because it was exposed to her and she realized that that's actually her purpose. So just please invest in her and believe in her, support her because the artistic world can be kind of complicated, especially when there's outsiders who don't understand what you're doing. It's just a whole nother thing when you have at least a parent that is there helping you and just supporting you, who's like your biggest cheerleader. So just please just be whatever you can for her because she gonna need it.
Yes, absolutely. Parents are
Yes,
the biggest cheerleaders.
yes.
Yes. So before we get off today, what are two pieces of advice that you'd like to leave our viewers with?
Mm, two. I don't know. Let's do one. If you're not having fun, no matter what it is that you're doing, then you ain't doing it right. That's like my motto. I know it may sound crazy and immature to some people, but lately I've been doing some, reflecting on my childhood, reflecting on my adolescence, and I just realized that life is supposed to be, we're supposed to have fun. We're supposed to be enjoying this thing. God didn't put us on this earth to just be suffering, to just be working and being bored. So no matter what it is that you're doing, um, find the joy, find the fun in everything because life is so short. We don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. We don't know what's going to happen 30 minutes from now. So if you can live and do whatever it is you want to do every single day of your life, just enjoy it, man. Have fun. And the second one is to live the life that God put you on this earth to live. Um, no matter what may seem attractive and cool right now, and like maybe getting a lot of people like money. A lot of people do a lot of things for money, but if you're not meant to be doing that, then it's not gonna work. Like no matter what. Like if it's made for you, then it's gonna be for you. But yeah, live the life that God put you on this earth to live. Have fun, and yeah, that's about it. I don't know. I don't know what else to
Okay.
say.
Well, I definitely agree
Yeah.
with both of those. And by by you saying live the life that God put you on this earth to live, do you mean that if you just really don't like painting, right?
Hmm.
And but there's a lot of painters out here and they're getting famous from doing these paintings. So you want to start painting now too just to see if you get famous. That's what you mean?
Yes. Like, for example, let's say there's a lot of people starting businesses now
Mm-hmm.
because, it's the thing that they see it on social media. And, it's 2020, quarantine, everybody stuck at home. There's nothing wrong with that. But what I mean by that is if it's a business that's not aligned with your purpose, then you're not going to find joy in doing it. You're not going to want to do it, which is very important because business it's every day. This is an all the time thing, like nonstop. You go to bed thinking about it, you wake up thinking about it. It's an all the
That's
time
true.
thing. So if you're doing something you don't want to do and it's not aligned with your purpose, and you'll know because you can work on it all the time without getting tired. For example, that's how it is for the videos for me. Like I can realize I've been doing something for 5 hours and don't even realize it because I'm just doing it because I like doing it. So that's what I mean by that. Chasing money, chasing things that you think will get you money or attention, don't do it. Just do what God put you on earth to be. If you were born to be a nurse. Okay. There's ways that you can generate streams of income by being a nurse, like writing a book on tips, you know, tips on how to finish or how to get your I think there's like a test you have to take to become a registered RN, I believe. So you can make a book about that.
Mm-hmm.
You can start a YouTube channel, what it's like to be a nurse. There's just so much. But
Right.
please just do what God put you on this earth to do and figure it out how to create streams of income from doing that. And that's what's we taught in digital real estate in the ABS tribe with Brother Ben. And that's like a knowledge that I am just like so grateful for because it changed the course of whatever everything that I'm doing with my entrepreneurship and business and everything. So yeah, that's all I want to say. That's really all I want to get across.
Well, thank you.
Assalamualaikum.
Thank you so very much for joining us, Sister Nora. And
Thank
do
you.
you mind leaving your do you have a website?
I do, but I have like four. I just have
Okay.
the link in my bio.
All
Probably
right.
have to get
You
that
mind just go
together.
ahead and saying your Instagram then, so we could follow you on there, and your TikTok.
Yes, my Instagram handle is at Lunar Alnora. That is, well, I can type it in here, can I? Woo!
You
And it's
can.
also the same for TikTok. So you can just search up at Lunar Alnora on TikTok and on Instagram to follow me. And if you want to, you ain't gotta do nothing. It's up to you. But yeah, that's where I am. That's where I be.
All right. Well, thank you so very much for joining us today. I
Thank
really
you for
enjoyed talking
having
to you.
me.
I'll be reaching out to you.
This was fun.
Of
I would like to do
course.
another one. Just let me know. Let me know.
Yeah. All right. I got you. Another one. Okay.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
thank you everybody for tuning into NNV News. Please follow us on our Instagram, NNV News, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel, NNV News. Have a wonderful night.